Welcome back to the Jock Podcast. I'm John.
Nick.
John and Nick. We are back. A couple weeks have gone by. Nick's grown a mustache in the meantime. That's how long it's been. How long did it take you to grow?
I shaved this morning.
Oh.
It's been a bit.
Yeah, and sadly, guys, I don't have a mug today. That's empty anyways. So we're going to air cheers.
No, I'm going to have the whole
thing. You get that.
I'm going to pull Johnny.
Very nice. You got a little bit of it.
Yeah. All right, I feel better.
So today, since it has been a couple weeks, I wanted to kind of talk today about what's been going on, and then one thing that we've been talking a lot about in the past couple weeks has been like how to keep going. You've been really busy with wedding, fighting, work's been picking up. I've been in a good routine of things, so with both of that, it's been just continuing to go. So that's what today's episode is going to be about. Let's start with what's been going on.
All right.
What's been going on with you?
Me first?
Yeah, you first.
Okay. So we are 9 days out from the best day of our lives.
What would that be?
Our wedding. Claire and I.
Not our wedding. Nick
Claire
and
and I get married on the 24th of May. So we are almost there. And actually, it's funny. It's the most important day, I should say. Because I'm not going to limit it to the best day. That's because, true. We could, every day I want to be the best day.
Yeah. Can I preface? Sorry, I want to
let it rip.
24th of May. My birthday is the 25th of May. Ooh. So they're throwing this very nice, extravagant party for me. It's
not
very
the case.
Kind.
It's not the case. However, I am excited for your birthday too. How old are you going to be, Johnny?
I'm going to be the big 29. Still in my 20s.
Oh, wow.
The last year in my 20s.
Yeah, I remember 30. That's
back
weird.
In the day.
I'm 32. Take it easy. 30, but yeah, have you started having those no? That's what I like to hear. I'm only 32.
Right, there you go. And I'm still in my 20s.
Yeah, or only in your 20s.
I'm only in my 20s.
Yeah, whatever, a little bit.
It doesn't matter which side of 20. I'm still in my 20s. Anyways, back to the wedding.
Okay. Yeah, so most of the hard planning's out of the way. We have a wedding planner. I strongly encourage you guys to get a wedding planner for your big day.
I feel like that's a thing, like having a wedding planner is something that you maybe take for granted, or maybe as long as nothing's going wrong, she's doing her job.
So yeah,
keeping you on track.
She's doing well, and Claire's really busy. I'm really busy. Of course, this takes priority, but I am definitely not the best with little details. So for example, the wedding planner sent us a very detailed, in-depth wedding checklist, I guess, what to bring in the morning. And there's there's so many items. I would not have remembered to bring my toothbrush for whatever, or my deodorant in case I'm there for or I'm starting to stink because I've been there too long dancing and haven't freshened up.
So you're gonna bring deodorant.
And
she even made that a point,
that stuff like that. And not that, I'm just saying if I've been there too long stinking in front of people and not realized it, I don't want to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I stink. I'm going to stay
he's
stinking.
The groom, so I'll be nice to him, but
I'll go right back. Done. So little stuff like that. Just overall, just everything's so smooth. And we also have a lot of different vendors. We're, renting furniture. We're got some surprises there. Yeah. So for us to deal with all of that, Claire works full time. I work just
whenever.
I'm, busy. And for us to all stay on one accord, it's I strongly encourage you guys to get a wedding planner. So that's we're wrapping up there. Almost everything is done. We had our final phone call today with the wedding planner to wrap that up. It was an hour conversation, and I feel like she covered everything.
There you go.
We have an agenda. Everything's for it to transition smoothly. It's amazing. So that's the seating chart's done. Just everything that's a weight that you really gotta.
Now you can kind of shift the focus to
let's have fun. Let's enjoy it.
Our family, everyone we love is coming into town, and
we have people coming in Tuesday and Wednesday. Today is Thursday. So we have people coming in Tuesday, Wednesday. We got golf for the boys. Yeah. Some of the girls are going to do some things. We have a boat day. So because everyone's coming from out of town, we don't want people to spend all their hard-earned money and time that they're happily investing in us. Yeah. But however, we want to make sure that they make the most of this time, because it is a lot to travel from New York, Florida, California, Arizona, wherever they're coming from. It's a lot taking off of work. So we're loading up the days before, And then I know after it's your birthday, but there's a big barbecue.
Yep.
Of course, if you're over your birthday that day and you want to come celebrate the rest of it with you, with us, we're happy to get this crazy cake for you or something. Well, yeah. But I just mean, if you don't have any more plans for the rest of the day.
Well, that's exciting. So then you got all that going on with the wedding, but then 2 weeks later we're fighting. Not both of us.
3 weeks.
3 weeks later, we have the fight coming up, and then I saw the call log. So R&L is picking up like crazy. We're working. So I think I'll touch on myself too, in general. But when you're balancing all those things, we're going to stay focused on you for a sec. How do you keep up with pushing forward when you got something for R&L going on at 6 a.m. and then you got to call the event planner at 9 a.m. and then you got the fight. You got to go to Gym O at noon. Like, how do you stay going?
So one is like prioritize, right? So wedding comes first. I got to make sure everything, like it's exciting. I get to make sure that everything is in order for whatever Claire needs me to do. If I'm doing something that I'm surprising her with or something, like what I'm doing for my groomsmen, whatever the case may be. We have a meeting with one of the vendors. Like, I just got to make sure that is top priority, which it is. I just mean I got to make sure I do the rest of my schedule around it. As far as training and work goes, I'm not gonna lie to you, it gets hard. It does. The other night, I train 3-4 sessions a day sometimes, and then it's pouring rain. We have a huge job the next day. My guys are working so hard, and I'm like, all right, I need to get to one of the trailers that are going to be on site tomorrow at this big job. I need to make sure everything's running properly. Changing out fittings. It's pouring rain on me. I'm dealing with all this crap on it, cranking it out. It's midnight. And then I'm back up at whatever time in the morning at Lowe's picking up anything extra that they need, and then I end up on site and just whatever.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm sorry, I started to ramble.
But no, that's okay. But then when you're doing these tasks and how, like you mentioned the other night, you're out till midnight making sure the trailer's set up, and then you're back out first thing in the morning.
I'm locked,
how do you talk?
I'm fucking locked in. I'm just locked in. I have my goals. It's like when I say it gets hard, it does get hard, meaning like I'm tired, but like it's so quick for me to just adjust and be like, no, like we're on a mission. Like that's it. Like holding myself to that high standard, and it's easier because like I know, like I guess like having the goals like with R&L, we'll just focus in on that for a quick second. Like we have our goals, and I've seen that delayed gratification. So like I understand the importance of going to one of my biggest customers the next day and taking that extra 2 hours in the rain and making sure that when we show up on site, they're going to be like, wow, these guys are prepared. I understand how important that is. So to me, like it gets hard, quick adjustment. As George, my teammate, always says, like, I asked for this. This is what I wanted. I asked for this. So I'm going to complain. Like, this is what I want to do. But yeah, it definitely gets hard. There's definitely times that you can allocate for rest and making sure you're having fun. And sometimes there's certain things that are necessary. Then there's times where you can just randomly be like, all right, I need a day. But then there's that fine line of like, like pull up your pants, like buckle down, and like it's time to grind. Sometimes you need a rest, but it's not giving yourself that cushion and that not too much cushion.
Well, because then a rest can turn into a long slumber, and then
and then not only that, the next time maybe it gets you're a little too quick to say, all right, I can rest. Like there's a fine line there, Johnny. Fine line.
No, that's it.
So what about you? I know right now you're kind of flowing.
Well, so that's not mine's a little bit on the flip side right now, currently in my stage. So I feel like right now, here's one thing. It took a lot of perspective recently. I have a pretty good life. I'm just going to say that. I have a pretty good life. And I feel like as of right now, it's been a lot of like reaping the rewards of the work I've been putting in to both myself. Like I've gotten into a very good routine. I used to not think I was a routine person. Turns out I'm kind of a routine person.
Laid back, John.
Yeah, I am very laid back. But I've got myself in this routine, and I feel like it's lifted like a lot of weight off my shoulders. So again, all around, like for me, I don't have a wedding I'm planning right now. I don't have the fight that's going on, but I've set myself up to where I'm in this routine of working out, of doing good work, of building good relationships with friends, family, my girlfriend. Like I'm all around in a very good stage in my life, and I don't have like complaints, and I feel good. Yeah.
Where are I know Johnny's flowing like some
Okay,
water right
I'm
now
flowing. Yep.
through the mountains.
Yep. Tell
Where
me.
you at?
Yeah,
Where you
yeah.
flowing?
Yeah. Oh, I'm flowing in the river. A
Oh,
cool
in the
spring
river.
right in
Oh
the river.
wow,
Yep. Yep.
Johnny's flowing in
My
the river.
tube. Yeah.
So, but in this river,
Yeah.
like I'm sure there's still some times where maybe you didn't expect that giant boulder in the
Yeah.
middle. Like
There are some
so like
boulders. Yep.
how are you dealing with that? I know it may be a little easier right now, or you may
Yeah.
not feel like you're going underwater.
Yeah.
But what are you doing in those
Yeah.
tough
So
moments?
one thing has been trying to be more proactive in general. I used to take a very big laid back approach, which is good when you're trying to be flexible, but it's bad when you're trying to get things done and when you're trying to get things solved. And it can lead to like procrastination, you could call it, whatever it might be. With this like proactive approach, if there's a boulder coming at me, I'm trying to take the boulder head on and knock it down. Get it done, right? I'm trying to get things done.
So not only that, so let's say old laid back Johnny
Okay.
used to get into the river. He would be flowing. He's flowing.
Yeah, it's still fun.
But you could handle the boulder. However, you didn't know the boulder was there.
Correct.
Now, new proactive Johnny, he mapped it out before he had his binoculars. He's like, I'm going to take care of this.
Yeah.
And when I get to this boulder, I already got a plan.
Yeah, yeah. So I do.
Okay.
So a lot of that's been with handling, throughout the years of like highs and lows and things that are going on. And then now I feel like it's a mindset thing. One, so these are mental pep talks, right? I have with myself all the time. Of like, hey, maybe even like looking ahead, saying, hey, this is an action item. Like now I'm working hard. I've got a big responsibilities going on. What might come up that I might need to handle? So like almost getting ahead of problems before they happen. So.
So you said mental pep talks.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off.
That's
Johnny,
okay.
But can we really like dig on that?
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
quick?
Sure. Sure.
And real quick, one more thing. Sorry, I'd like.
It's okay. I like this.
Thank you. These mental pep talks, like,
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that is in it like an epiphany, or are you kind of like, do you have a time of day or week where you're like, all right, let's get back to this?
Yeah. So it's not something I've always done. So a lot like previously in the years past, I would just be doing things. We actually talked about this a lot. Like I just do things. Yeah. Right. Sometimes you'd be like, what are you doing? I don't know. I'm just doing things. Right. Like I just am active.
Just not
and I would think, yeah, right. That's perfect way to describe it. I would think it's being productive because I was physically doing things. Right. Whether it's hanging out with loved ones or doing something on the business side of things. Right. Like I would still think it's productive. Now, because again, we're going to go back to the first few episodes, because I have a strong foundation, because I've dug deep and really figured out what I want in my life and what I want to be doing, I have these like mental pep talks that are like the smaller steps along the way of like, hey, for me to successfully lead a good life, for me to sit here and say, I just feel at peace right now because of the work that I've been putting in. These little pep talks throughout the day are things that I've now encompassed of like, hey, I'm waking up in the morning, I'm giving myself a pep talk. Hey, we're gonna have a great day. Let's go on a walk real quick and just relax and focus on what's ahead. And then I pull up to the office. I say, hey, big meeting today. How can I physically be there? How can I mentally be there? How can I make sure I can go to the longevity standpoint? Go to meeting to then something more productive, to talking to people, and then good. And then like on the personal side of things too, not that they're separate by any means, but how can I be present? So I mentally talk myself up to being present for my girlfriend, for my friends, for my family, for my cat who needs me dearly. People don't think that, but she does need me. So how like I talk myself up and saying, not that I like have to force myself, if it makes sense, but like just saying, John, like these people love you, they care for you, and you want to be here. How can you like be there for these people? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask though, like I know that you have this. I wanted to ask the walk, is that kind of your like mental, because you do a walk almost every day.
Like probably like 5 walks a day, to be totally honest. So yes, so the walking is like my mental. It's not even like I wouldn't even use mental escape. It's how I mentally deal with it.
You've developed you've always loved your walk.
It's like my outlet. Yeah. So that's
my point is though, you developed this routine, and now like so that is a good way for you to keep yourself like, all right, here's my mental check. It seems like your walk before whatever you're doing is like, okay, like I already know. So like you wake up, you already know that you're gonna do your mental prep like on your walk.
Focus for the day, and then I'll have like I like to work in spurts throughout the day, right? Like I'm crushing it for a few hours, and then like, hey, I've just mentally have been doing a lot. I've been productive. Here's where we go. Now we're gonna go on a walk, decompress, or on the productive side of it, sometimes I think a lot on my walks. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm going on these walks to like be brain dead and not think. It's where it allows me to focus and get some blood flowing instead of like sitting all day. This is also like if you're in the corporate world of things, like it's how you don't allow yourself to just fully like let yourself go, because you could sit in a chair all day if you don't have a standing desk. If you do have a standing desk, I encourage you getting a standing desk because it's awesome. But the walks are a good way to also like stay a little physically active. It's not the craziest fitness in the world, but you're still being active.
But this is helping you get through those tough.
100%. It's where I'm thinking about the boulder that's coming ahead of me, and I'm saying, all right, what do I need to do to be a bit more proactive? How can I, or maybe even like on the personal side, if I'm walking, I'm saying, I need to put more effort into growing friendships, or into like, it's where I can really just think about, myself, be with myself and think about what's going on. That's a good way to put it. Being with myself and focus on.
So it's really like, if you can tell, like John obviously has something that works for him.
That works for me.
And he's developed this.
Yeah.
But it's still, that's why it's extremely important. We have to have these, like, this time allocated to where we are intentionally thinking about how we're going to improve. Like, think about it. You want big biceps like Johnny. You got to go to the gym, and you got to work on them, right?
Yeah.
You want your chest is growing. I've noticed. You got to work. You got to work on these.
You got to work on them. Yeah.
So, like, if you want to get a better mindset, if you want to be able to handle those hard days, like, why would you just expect that? Like, how can you expect that just to get better? Like, you have to put in intentional time.
Yeah. Well, because then also if you're not putting in that intentional time, when these good things are coming at you, or when your day gets busier, as to what this episode's really about, when your day gets busier, if you're not being intentional about your time and what you're doing, you're not going to be able to tackle that day.
It helps with everything. Like, Like I'm not gonna lie, I am super busy. I'm saying that to make a point. Like, but because I'm like handling these things and I know that they're done, what I had to get done, it didn't bother me to take 10 minutes before this podcast to play pig with John on the basketball right there.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say.
Yeah.
I was definitely.
That's
gonna
okay.
say
I admit it. Yeah. But also then, like, for your example too, right? Like, you have these, not to separate them, but you have these 3 big life events going on right now, right? We're growing a business, your wedding, and an upcoming fight, right? So if you were to not be intentional about, one, where you are mentally, physically, your time throughout the day, it's so easy to let one of those go down. Because today I'm focused on R&L. I just went to a huge job. I spent 4 hours at R&L. Now I can't be there for Claire and our wedding. If you're not being intentional about it, isn't it easy to drop the ball then when you have a lot going on?
So like I said earlier, like I prioritize. Like when I taking this fight, like I knew our wedding was coming up, and I knew that, like, no matter what, my time goes to the wedding.
Yeah.
I know how to fight. Like I can fight.
You know how to fight. Yeah.
I know I work hard. I know I train hard. I know I can be disciplined with my nutrition. Like, so all of that is in check. R&L, we're at the point where, like, the company is thriving and it's self-sufficient. So it's, I mean, like, those 2 things, fighting, the fight, and R&L growing, like, they don't clash. There's no, and like I said, I prioritize my wedding.
Yeah.
Of course I do. And I'm honestly, I feel as busy as I am, I'm juggling everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to fighting and work, sometimes it gets really tough. Like I said earlier, I had that tough day recently at work that was kind of random, but like, because I'm like, I have my time allocated and like those big talks with myself, like those are easy moments. Easier.
So then, I mean, easier moments, but you obviously still have those hard days like you talked about. Yeah. How do you talk yourself up on like hard days?
Yeah, so you have to be really careful with, like, you have to just like avoid that victim mindset. Like, you really do.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
if you
it's
have
so
those
easy.
little tiny thoughts of like,
you
know what, you're really doing a lot right now. Like, and it's such a fine line, because you need to know when to give yourself rest.
Yeah.
And you need to know when, like, you know what, throw the papers up and go, like, Claire, can you meet me for lunch today after, or do you have something planned at work, or can we meet here for lunch? Like, whatever. You need to know when, like, sometimes we need those moments to, like, just forget about certain things.
Oh, for sure.
And just
outlets.
enjoy
right.
life.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, when I hold myself to a very, very high expectation, and I'm aware of that, and I put a lot of pressure on myself, but I can handle it. I believe we all can when we start, giving ourselves these tall tasks, but where we believe we can do it. Like, I have God, I can do anything, right? Like anything. So when I will use fighting right now, for an example, I have this funny little thing I do. I think about a champ, right? What does Nick Rodriguez, the champ, do? So like I heard it in a motivational speak, and it just resonated with me. Like, I wake up like a champion. Okay. I eat like a champion. Okay. I rest like a champion. Every single thing I do is like a champion. Yeah. I rest, I recover like a champion. Yeah. I drill like a champion. I spar like a champion. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, it's like a champion. Yeah. Having that mindset and just drilling my brain with it, it's super easy for me to like get, like, for example, I went through Fight Sim today, second session of the day. After some good rolls this morning, I'm starting, like, that quick thought comes into my brain, like, oh, you're already so fatigued and tired, and you're about to start Fight Sim and like dig, and then I'm like, wait a minute, Nikki, you got a big shovel, let's go, champ. And I just start digging, and like, I want to be there. I want this. This is what I want. Why am I going to ask for this, get this opportunity, and then all of a sudden half-ass it? Like, this is what I want. Yeah. Like, I'm a champ. Like, this is what a champ does. Yeah. So like, like, I'm happy to take this.
So that's how you're going throughout. You're able to keep going because you have that champion mindset.
It sounds corny. Like, another random thing I used to say to myself. I still say it. Like, I like think this sounds so corny, but like, I'll think about my body. Like, I'm building this, right? So like this like, when I'm getting tired or I think I have those thoughts, like, champs don't get tired. Like, I'm just drilling, like, I'm pushing, and just understanding how important that self-talk is. It sounds so corny and like cliche for you to take time and like, oh, you need positive talk, positive affirmations. If you're doing it to do it and you don't understand why you're doing it, you may not get that much out of it. But when you are training your brain to believe in yourself and to believe in God and to believe in like anything that comes your way you can handle, then you're moving forward.
It's putting actions to the word. Words can be words. You can say whatever you want, right? But if you're not actually acting upon these things, it's huge. And I do want to like kind of wrap it up in the sense of like, we are saying this as not to flaunt our lives or talk about how much we have going on. There is this thing of like, oh, I'm so busy, blah, blah. Like, it's not what we're doing. We're saying this in the sense of we didn't just get here, right? There was
bad days happen. Like, there are days that suck. Yeah. And it's just being able to understand, like, okay, this is hard.
Yeah. That's fine.
It's okay to understand, like, okay, I'm going to acknowledge, like, this is hard. I'm digging right now. But, like, being so focused, like, right now, it's necessary. So I'm going to do it either way. So I need to adjust my mindset and do it to the best of my ability. Like, that's the importance of, like, all right, here's my goal. I need to push past this. I'm aware that I don't naturally feel excited right now, but I'm going to adjust my mindset. I'm going to get it done. Not only am I going to get it done, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. Yeah. So it's okay to have those, like, you're going to have those days. Yeah. But don't give yourself that cushion, that scapegoat of it's okay. Try what? Oh, you're a Rocky fan?
I know Rocky.
There is no tomorrow. Yeah, Rock. I love that. Like, there is no tomorrow. Like, it's right now. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's times to understand when you're overworking yourself. Like, you got to learn yourself. Like, I can't tell you when that moment is. The standard I hold myself to is not going to be the standard I hold to somebody else. But like, you're going to have those days, and you need to know why you're doing it. And that's how you're going to push through. It's okay to say this is hard, but don't give yourself start giving yourself these excuses, because that negative voice, like, don't feed it. Yeah. Don't feed it. Starve that mother. Like, Yeah. So
that's it. I wanna. Can I give them homework?
We definitely need some homework. Okay. It's been a while.
I'm gonna give an easy piece of homework.
You're always with the easy peasy homework.
Let you be the bad guy. Good cop, bad cop. So my homework is, honestly, it may not be easy for everybody. Okay. So we talk all this stuff about pep talks, hype yourself up, whatever. I want you, especially if you've never done it before, just give yourself your first pep talk. You could be doing terribly, you could be down in the dumps, or you could be up high. I don't care where you are. Give yourself a pep talk of continuing to keep going. Maybe think about perspective. Talk about how good you feel about yourself. I don't care what the pep talk is. Just start giving yourself your very first pep talk.
Okay. I guess I'll give like the more. I'm talking to the jockster that you got me using it, jockster.
There you go.
Wow.
I knew it. Reeled him in.
I'm talking to the jockster that already does that, has that hard schedule and has had these pep talks, and just let's kind of really finesse and like really get gritty and like think about that, like what is that best version, and now start playing that in your mind every time something gets hard, because you're already putting yourself through the hard work, you already have that goal, you're having these hard days maybe often. Let's start like reiterating those positive affirmations, reminding ourselves, but like let's let's have the same, maybe the same thought, not always, but like kind of that image of like, give me a name, anything, guy named Jeffrey. Who's the best Jeffrey? Like you start having that like that hard moment. Like what does Jeffrey want to go home and tell his wife that he did? Like what does, like, do I want to go home to my family and tell them like, yeah, work got hard, I just went to the bathroom, sat on my phone, or do you want to say, babe, you should have seen me at work today. Like
I nailed this meeting, like, whatever.
Everybody was hurting, and I carried the boats. I threw everything on my shoulders. Next thing you know, everything in your life's getting better. So let's build that best version of yourself. You don't want to say you go out today, you don't want to get to the pearly gates and be like, I'm sorry I didn't try. Like let's try our best. And hey, I'm not perfect. I'm making those mistakes. I'm not always giving my best. I'm giving in sometimes to like, tomorrow I'll work harder. Like let's cut those. Let's make those less and less to the point where they're non-existent.
Champion mindset.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, I mean, that was good.
Sorry, almost there. Almost. I just wanted to. I don't like the very end of that. Like about like mean. About I have those days. Let me just.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's just make that adjustment and keep moving forward. That's it. So let's get that best version of yourself and start playing that in those moments of like, maybe I'm having too much sugar today and desserts. Like, what does the best version of myself want to do? But still enjoy life. You need to know when to not put so much pressure.
You gotta
take those moments to enjoy life.
Yeah, well, enjoy it, and just keep pushing towards it. Keep growing on this journey. We're continuing to keep growing, as you guys can tell. That's why we talk about these things, because we are actively doing them every day. And yeah, so with that, this will be the last time you see this hand empty. Huh?
Yes.
That's it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, by the time this is published and by the time the next one's published, this is the last time.
I'm not going to lie, I put my ring on the other day. I walked around a little bit. So today's Thursday. So next Thursday at this time, we'll probably be getting off the boat. And then we're not recording next week. And then, so Friday. And then the big day, Saturday.
There we go.
Excited.
So exciting week ahead. Continue growing. Continue being a good man. And yeah, we're excited. We're excited to keep going. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jocksters.